Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm just here with my poor crippled kitty cat, Bear, and she always takes precedence now that she's been injured from that groomer, which I'm pursuing stuff on that, but she takes precedence. Um, so I'm giving her some treats right now. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Was waiting for that to kick on. Perfect. Okay, so it is gorgeous here in the Bay Area. It's sunny, and I've got some great stuff from my husband from his bicycling in the early morning. So I'll be getting those little shorts up later after after I look after Bear and stuff. Hey there, Gail Hallwell. Yeah, it's been pretty awful, not gonna lie. And it's trying to keep positive and not allow it to, you know, break my heart, which it already has. I'm just trying to, do the best I can with it and get her comfortable and give her a healthy, long life that I can, give her the best I can, and suing the groomers to, pieces. And it's a good thing that she's insured and bonded. And we're still treating our cat, she's got infection in her front paws. Um, that wasn't evident at first, but I'm sorry, Gail, I am not taking any more questions, but you know what? What's one more at this point? I'll just take yours and that's it. All right. Okay, that's six. All right, you good, Bear? You good? She's doing really well. I it's hard to tell with cats, and I've been trying to pay attention to her, uh, letting me know if she's uncomfortable and things like that, and looking her over and all that. Yeah, it's broken my heart so much that I just go quiet. It just is too painful to even talk about. So, yeah, I took an extra question. Um, have I done a reading on Amy Bradley? Not yet. She's on my list. I've been on the fence about whether or not she's still here in this realm, and I can look at that today. I'll do that as one of my readings because I'm curious. I'll see if I can pick up anything. I'll start out with that, in fact. So, oh, I forgot to put up my banner. No, I had it on. For God's sake. I'm just not used to having things together so much. All right. I'm really concerned about the eclipse with the double Pisces effect on me. I'm just kind of bracing myself. I don't know what this will mean for me. So, usually it really can be tiring because it's been, like I said in my post, last few years, the eclipses have really affected me actually, even physically, because I can feel the energetic. It sounds really corny, but I can. I can. It's like having your energy stretched or something. Exactly, JR. And thank you guys for your healing vibes. Thank you, Gail. Thank you guys. So let's just take a look at Amy Bradley real quick. Let's just mosey on over into that and see if we can reach in and grab the truth that is out there. All the truth exists. It's not like it's stuck in a vault somewhere. It's our meat suits that get in the way of the access. We just gotta figure out ways of kind of going around that. So, Amy Bradley. Right now, I've got the Neptune moon. Where did I put the box? She came up when I was just getting all my stuff all laid out, but I thought, oh, I will move it all for her. Um, yeah, Neptune moon, so beautiful. You guys know that I'm a sucker for purples and blues and pinks. I love color so much. Anyway, let's play with this for a while. And I wanted to bring it out because I thought it'd be good to look at readings for the eclipse coming on the 7th. And then we get a partial solar eclipse. I just read this in my witch's almanac. Um, yeah, then we have a partial solar eclipse on the 21st, which is on a new moon in Virgo. Yeah. And that the 22nd is then the autumn equinox. So that energy is going to be really getting, we're going to get tuned up again. So just remember the main thing with this is to release stuff that you need to change and let go and open to embrace the new. And if you don't let go of the old, you can't bring in the new stuff so well. It's. Yeah, this is by Trish James, and I will try to put a link after the chat, after the live. In uh, I'll put a link in the description box again for her. Usually I can tag items, but she's not yet on their YouTube's shopping thing that they have, so you can tag certain items that you use. Um, but it's so beautiful. She is a maestro in making decks. I really enjoy watching her process and stuff. And if you're not a member of hers and if you can afford it, I highly recommend becoming a member of her channel. And it's Trish with an E at the end, James. And that's James with a Jaimes from Australia. I really hope that the shipping thing doesn't affect our ability to get decks. I was just thinking about that. I'm sorry, I'm selfish. I want to, like. Exactly, Ash. You feel the Pisces energy a lot too, but more in an inner sense. That's exactly it. It's very deep. Well, sometimes, unless they're a shallow Pisces. Okay, let's see. Let me just refresh myself on her birth date. I think she was a Leo. Was she a Leo or a Sagittarius, some kind of fire sign? Let me just see here. Amy Bradley, date of birth. Yeah, I was looking at that. What do we got? Okay, no, Gemini. No, 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 I'm sorry. Taurus. Of course I ought to know that. My dad's birthday is May 10th. Hers is May the 2nd, 1974, so she's a Taurus. Hmm, okay. Oh, thank you, JR. All right, so I'm expecting that kind of energy here. I don't know whether that will matter here, but I might use more than one deck. So first I'm going to try with this Neptune moon, which probably, being that this is such a mysterious thing, is not a bad idea to maybe try with. And let's just see, is she yet in the flesh on the earthly plane? Because I can be very confused. I've found times where I can feel that somebody was very close to the earth plane, but it was hard for me to tell whether they had just recently passed or were just staying close to the earth plane. I mean, that happens. And so I thought, well, whenever I get that feeling again, I need to just go more slowly and more thoroughly because often they have passed and they may not be aware of it, or there's some portion of their awareness that doesn't seem to be aware of it. Hey, Kiki Law, thank you for joining us, and thank you all who are popping in. I'm looking at Amy Bradley's uh, situation and seeing if I can sense if she's still here. Now, of course, her family did have her declared deceased. I do recall getting cards in readings on her where that yellow guy is involved. But that was the next bit that I was looking into, was whether or not I felt like she was yet here. So let's see what we get. Is Amy Bradley still incarnate? Though probably under another name. She's still here. Let's see what we get. Quiet pause. In silence, the truth unfolds. I think that we have to trust our intuition. All right. A quiet pause. In silence, the truth unfolds. And there's the truth. The truth is there. Once again, this is not, it's been obscured, but there's truth. There's proof, I think, on some level. I get harnessing power, elevating energy. I don't think. Mm, Purity surrounds, cleanse negative energy. Navigating spirit, direction of your journey. This kind of feels to me like she's moved on into something I would attribute to an afterlife, of where your energy is elevated up and cleaned up. And it reminds me of experiences that I have felt through that kind of a transformative effect. So I'm kind of wondering if something similar didn't play out here. And maybe, sorry, and maybe her next journey would be that of one in spirit, because we get the last card of navigating spirit and the direction of her journey. And purity surrounds, cleanse negative energy. But let me just continue. Yeah, totally on a celestial, astral feel, if you will, as cheesy as that may sound. So this is spiritually definitely what is at play, but I really need more of an earthly base. And so I might have to resort also to bringing in my Rider-Waite deck. Winds of change, go with the flow. This feels very dreamy. And guiding star, inspiration as your compass. That feels much more like an inward journey of her spirit. Oh, hi, Carl. Hello from Michigan. Name change couldn't, yeah, change energy for sure. I mean, I think when we look at this, yes, also, I did get drug alcohol use from her energy. So that altered, it's altered, and altered could mean a lot of things, right? Not necessarily deceased. It can be that altered state. It could be like you're nearly, you probably, it could be that if you abuse that stuff, you could come real close. Forbidden fruit. Access restricted. That feels like that whole trafficking vibe. Cosmic reflection. Universe corresponds. She's thinking on it on a very deep level here. I think she was trafficked. I don't know why this would be there if she just fell off the boat, you know? And it feels like life review. Vibrational alignment, frequencies around you. Really feels like her observing her life. And rhythmic cycles flow with the tides. Again, going with the flow, not resisting, just observing. And that was a message I was getting earlier to share with people about this time. I'm going to grab my other deck now. That's very interesting. And it's an interesting snapshot of, I think, spiritual flow, literally, of her consciousness. Um, but as we know, well, most of us know, or believe, I should say, um, that it survives consciousness after we leave this meat suit, thank goodness. And let me tell you, it feels great to leave it. I'm sorry to say that, but um, it's just a release that is incredible. These things weigh so much, and they're dull. They dull your senses. So let's just take a look in again. I'm gonna go at it from like Amy Bradley. What is she still earthly bound? And what state is she? What kind of well-being is she in or not? Um, is she yet in human body? Well, I'm getting the card of recognition by loads of people. Hmm. Okay. And it's paired with the Queen of Swords. This could be someone that's seen her and that is sharp with their memory. A woman, and this makes me feel like it's a woman that's seen her, that she stood out to her. Now, honestly, I have not heard of any woman's account that I can remember, but I've had so much going on that I think you'll understand that if I don't completely remember it. Um, let's see, I just wanted to catch what Carl was saying. Unless something is done about Trump and his regime soon, the future Marvel Comics Bishop New will look very appealing in ways in the real world. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I think it's possible, but this is more like I'm thinking like this woman's got a really sharp mind, keen observation with the swords, and she's gonna know in her heart that she's seen her or sure of it, and that's what it feels like to me at this point. And here we are with the walking away, um, and maybe not being able to help again, and feeling like something is overwhelming, and it- there's also a sense of being abandoned or neglect here. It sounds like a lot of people that have said that they saw her but couldn't respond in time to uh, help her, and that they regretted that. There's a King of Pentacles. Now, this is money, and a man that is all about that. And we see the Knight of Swords acting very quickly. This is impulsive. This is, ugh, it feels like trafficking. It feels like a guy that would do that. Is she still here? It's not really answering me, but it's not really saying no either. It could be that she's still physically present, but very much altered, because that is the Ten of Swords. I'm sorry, the Ten of Wands. That is being overwhelmed, and you are paired with the Eight of Cups. So that's a real strong sense of also being like abandoned. Um, maybe feeling like, God, they couldn't find me. And now there's maybe this could be her brother, even. I don't know, getting active out there. I'll have to look and see what his birth date is. But there's a man here and there's male energy here that is then now very much uh, getting out there and being seen, actually, when I think about that with the Knight of Swords. And it does remind me of what her brother has done more recently with media. Hmm. There's a fight or a conflict that this brings up um with men and the emperor. This is also like authority and as well as a father figure. It can be very powerful older men that are in charge of things, and there is some kind of a conflict there with regard to her. To me, this is like authorities and probably men that earn their money in perhaps less than savory ways. Yeah, I hope that she did too. I think she's still here, but she's kind of disassociated. We have the Four of Cups. That is so disconnected, so indifferent. And there's the past. Maybe she lives in the past. And she's focused, I think, on a past. It must make her feel, if she is here, all I can say is at this point very out of sorts. And maybe that's why we got the reading that we did with the other cards that were so inward. And it feels like maybe she shuts down on her interactions if she might live alone now. I don't know. That Four of Cups really made me feel like she would be on her own, and she might kind of lay low, feel kind of intimidated to do anything. Um, she's probably under some kind of a, control of people that are involved in that kind of trafficking thing. And at this point, I see her disassociated, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean you don't still try and, if it's meant, it would be better. But she's very much, I'm shown like I feel living in her past a bit, that's where her like blinders almost running over her past childhood, maybe trying to remember things. And the present doesn't really interest her. And if you are being handed around like a piece of meat, you tend to disassociate from your body. And it's feeling like that. Quite possibly. More just exhaustion, overwhelmed. It doesn't feel like she has the fight that she would need to put up right now. The energy is so, I think, beaten down that it disassociates. And that's what I mean by that state of, are they yet alive, really? Or are they lingering? And this is some kind of lingering. And, I'm still not convinced that she's necessarily physically here in a body. But this could still be that she was so focused on that past that this could be even an active form of her we're picking up. I mean, I try to keep all options open until we see anything different, that gives us more of a clue. Um, I do think that drugs and alcohol are altering things, play a role here with the Seven of Cups. And yeah, it could have affected the mind. It can, cause mental illness and imbalance of one's serotonin. We know that. Um, so I think she's possibly here, but under, I think, mental deteriorating, unfortunately, situation. And, again, with that Nine of Wands and that Four of Cups, it really feels kind of walled off. Like, again, she is protecting herself and she focuses in on the past and maybe is more of a hermit now in some way. Um, and she may not know what's real and what's dream and drug influenced, as well as just then once you change those pathways from using, and if someone was using, as she probably was, and being given stuff, it's a good chance that by now she could have damage in addition to use. But there's all kinds of thoughts of how to get away or to travel. I think she tried maybe a lot to think about how she could escape. Now she just feels really tired. But hopefully she could maybe get another dose of energy there. I don't know. She this energy feels very much out there in the ethers and on some sort of influence of substance, likely. We're looking at finance, money, and earthly, and the Ace of Wands. So that's interesting. There is something new. Maybe there's going to be a boost of energy here within her physical form. I don't know. Ace of Pentacles, um, activity, maybe to find money if she needs to buy more stuff, or to ask for money in some way. Because it just feels like then this is maybe something that she doesn't move around very much unless it's to pursue. I think she's still here, Four of Pentacles, but she's controlled. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Under that, you know, influence of substance, possibly even alcohol, even just basic alcohol. Because it's the second time I've gotten a sense of alcohol and stuff, not just one thing. Absolutely, you're dealing with PTSD and yeah, I mean, she'd be 51 today, and that's a hard life to live. I think she was only 23 at the time of her disappearance. Then there's some kind of clarity here with the Ace of Swords, and I think something about money or family. And this is maybe family will finally get hold of her. I don't know. But she's definitely not. The sense is that no matter what, she was held. Um, Even if she's not still in the flesh, which I think she is, but I think she's really kind of not real present. It's affected her, and we can understand how it would. There is justice, the law coming in. Oh, and the sun. So she might get found. there might be some legal pressure that her brother's able to, I don't know, and family maybe able to sway her way. Maybe it just will unlock that. And when I get the sun and justice like that, it means I think we're really going to get answers one way or another. I think there's a good chance that she's found, but that she's, would need a lot of therapy. What can I say? There's the strength card. I think she's still in body. Oh, I don't know. And the world. That's a completion card. Again, I'm on the fence. But that energy is probable that she does probably go between worlds. JR, I have faith she'll be found alive in this lifetime. Well, this reading would agree with you, and I'm going to agree with you. I think we're going to get real answers and know one way or another. And unfortunately, I think for Amy, I think understandably she would have pretty strong PTSD, but it would be great for her. And she might perk up with that 10 of Pentacles in the sun and the world. Maybe that, let's see what the next following card would be. The King of Cups, very compassionate male, and being patient, working with her. So that might even be, I hope that that would be some sort of mental, counsel help. Yeah, there's the Star. That's another great card for Amy. And the Eight of Wands. And that's an acceleration. I think they need to keep putting her name out there like they're doing. I think it's going to loosen some things up for them to find her. Yeah, Lovers and the Three of Swords. This is, I think, that trafficking stuff and them taking her, separating her from her family. This is the need for healing and pulling back from society, just, kind of to cocoon oneself. Hopefully, not that she has left the earth plane, but no, I think healing from PTSD, from being treated cruelly, um, and being bullied and forced to do things she didn't want to do. That feels a lot more like healing, trying to heal from PTSD. Yeah, this is defense, standing up for oneself, defending herself. I mean, if she's still alive, not for nothing, it would be a testament to a greater strength that's anchoring deep inside, you know? And we do get the Hierophant. So there's a spiritual belief, maybe even family traditional beliefs that they have in their family, Christian, that, you know, that have helped her, relying on some form of spiritual, maybe more conservative, whatever, family passed along uh, stuff that's actually perhaps helpful. To me, it looks like she's leaned on that, as one should. Um, Things have been rough. Here we have just uneven. We have a life that's unpredictable and up and down. And I think, women being shuffled here, not for nothing, that we've got the Empress and the Two of Pentacles. So I think that's another nod toward her having been um, used to make money off of. So it does look to me like she'll be found. And that looks to me like she'll receive some kind of really nice healing for her last, you know, cycle of life that whatever that is, that she will have until she passes. God, yeah, absolutely. Looking to faith, looking to a higher power, and maybe that's why she focuses on, why we see her focus so much on the past, where if she was taught certain things, she might like shut out that awfulness and go back into that memory. Even if she's unfortunately having to, resort to using drugs because it's so awful. Um, I certainly am not going to judge anyone for that. I wouldn't want to be in that position, and don't feel the need to do that. I think love is a much better kind response. Yeah, that's interesting, and that's the Pope as well, the Hierophant. So, you know, maybe she's been in an area too that has access to Catholic churches, and I would think that the area that she's been seen in or reported around, you know what, the Caribbean, they're very much Catholic churches and faith there. It's pretty strong. So she might make use of that, or maybe she can hear the bells and things like that there. They might do stuff like that. And that might be a way for her to remember. Depending on what freedoms she has, she looks like she's really controlled and probably drugged. Um, and it looks like eh, that's kind of like she's not interested in being in the present where she's at, for sure. And it does look like her family may end up being able to find her. It might be that they even, offer. I just think they're going to get some help. So we'll leave it there. All right. Let's get on and to Isabel. Okay. Okay. Blessings, beautiful soul. Can I have a general reading, please? It sounds like you had a really crap day yesterday. You know, that heaviness and that really deep pain, I kind of had that as well. And I thought, I wonder, is this mine? Or, what am I picking up on? What is this? Is this something yet to come? And I just figure, well, whatever, I'll process it. So I just felt myself being much more, you know, uh, heavy as well. So you're not alone. Probably processing things. You're welcome, JR, and everyone. That was for Amy Bradley, and you can replay it if you've missed it. That was very interesting. That really actually makes the most sense to me, more that I think about it. But we'll just find out, won't we? Because we did get the sun in justice. We just have to wait. And that was the other thing I was talking about witnessing, being aware and just being witness to certain things that you can't do much else about, especially where um, Trump and all of that is concerned. I do also see a big scandal coming up for Melania, and it looks like she's caught out, in temptations, and it makes her look pretty bad. It makes me think maybe, she gets somebody to the cards were that somebody wasn't intentionally trying to catch her, you know, maybe with someone else, but she might be part of their picture and they might eventually leak that. And it looks like it's going to have, if it is leaked, going to have a really dramatic effect. And it really will make her popularity. Yeah, I know, but it's really going to be a bad look on her. It's just like bad timing. But it exposes her because it was the devil. She got the devil. She's just as bad as him. She put forth all that birther shit. Um, and she got something else. Just like it, like that is gonna be exposed. And yeah, like there's receipts. And she's going to be really mad, probably try and sue them, and she's going to think that she's going to have a lot of money coming to her. Sorry, I just got to tell you while I can remember it. And my notes, where did I put them? Right here. See, this is my Piscean moon and rising effect. So also did look at Mike Johnson. Yeah, I've been busy, like I said. Um, oh, here it is. Yeah, where she thinks she's going to get a big payout, okay, and she's going to try and sue somebody for this, even though they weren't intentionally trying to make her look bad. It's like, girl, you're doing it yourself. Yeah. And so this is a message that just popped out at me. And so I had to make sure. And so I did several kind of reading and different throws, different cards on it, whether or not there was going to be something coming up for her. And just kind of like turning over the exposed note that they leave me. I'm like, this is an interesting clue. Looks like Melania's in trouble. Um, and it really, uh, yeah, there's a group of people that are working on this, and I got the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Now, these are people that are much more professional, like maybe even like investigative journos or something like that, you know. But there's a lot of stress that this person will have about holding on to it and what to do with it. And it's a real pain in the ass to them. It's like they didn't want to do this, they didn't want to have to deal with this, but it finally kind of burns a hole with the Ten of Wands for them. And I think they release it. And let's see. She got the Devil card and the Knight of Swords and the Two of Cups. So there's like an adultery kind of an energy. And I feel like it really that with Putin like releasing all the tawdry pictures of her, it kind of it just was like playing in people's face, and it finally more people realize that's really not very elegant. But she's going to try with Justice and the Four of Pentacles to take control, to use the law to get money, a big payout with the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles, don't you know? But and she may feel like she's won and she is looking forward to that money, but then there's the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. There's like a sudden change. There's a little surprise with this, and it causes her I don't know what it is, but it causes her a great deal of distress and anxiety, sleeplessness. She starts being really worried. And the interesting aspect was that she gets the Nine of Swords in the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a shift. And she's more anxious. And, I think she's being shown up as a thief, a liar, a plagiarist. Um, and then I got cards that show once again a confirmation of this kind of scandal with planned it and my way, plus then anxiety and needs help to go to sleep or to relax. Um, that was that Nine of Swords we got earlier, but this was a completely different deck. And then she got cards of caution, suspicious behavior, and a thank you gesture. And once again, that what looks like something innocent or what is played off as is not. It is they're trying to hi Ron, they're trying to bedazzle you with whatever, the typical way that they do that. And there's going to be a great commotion with this. This is going to happen also. I did get cards of Trump being in the midst of his continued decline. So that kind of gives us a little window that it's a real dramatic situation. Oh, and you know what the other cards were? Um, the two cards that I drew is to kind of cap it off was "You are loved in my heart" plus deception. So that's a cancel of basically that means you're not loved in my heart at all. And I think it shows her marriage to Trump gets exposed for what it is, and that is transactional, as if we all didn't know, and that she's corrupt as much as him. She's no victim. Um, powerful expose on her corruption in more than one manner, and there's receipts. This was somebody that wasn't looking to, apparently, I got it twice, to get this, but they end up catching it somehow. So I'm not sure. Okay. I'm sorry, had to get that out. Isabel, your reading for you. I would say you're probably also getting ready for this eclipse, and that is where there's a purging of a lot of heaviness. Sometimes it's from pent up stuff from our past. Getting my cards ready for you. I had to get that out. Some say she's a madam too. Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. I think she's pretty transactional. What can I say? Um, let's see. I wonder if I shouldn't use this planet. I want to try this Neptune moon deck with you, Isabel, and see if we can see what's going on with that. Okay. Wondering what is making it happen. The heaviness and pain. Is this to do with shifting energies that we're now entering into for this coming eclipse? Because it's not just an eclipse, but it's also a supermoon. So it's packs a wallop, and we always are pushed to shed fears and old hurts and wounds, and so we can heal and open. Oh, yes, and immigration fraud too. Oh, yeah, I watched Keith Edwards. He did a comparison picture. Oh my God. Oh, I've looked at those. And the one where, oh yeah, where she was good friends with Ghislaine. Yes. I heard about that too. They were chummy. I thought that just doesn't look good. So I totally could see how allegedly she could be a madam or have that kind of energy at one point. Now I do want to switch it over for Isabel. And let's see, get away the rot of the Trump family. Their energy's so awful. It's so stinky. And they're meant to be the contrast, just like I said that I got, like they're meant to, I think, screw things up so we'll restructure our nation the way it should have been done to begin with. And it's going to take a lot of time, but we'll get there. That's true. And oh, Ivana, she's been about, by the way. I picked up on her also today in my readings around Trump's energy. And yes, he's absolutely continuing, as many of us have been saying for a long time. It's really going into that active decline mode. I think this eclipse energy is going to kickstart it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's see here. All right, Isabel, let's take a look at your energies. What's going on? I'm really connecting and feeling like it is the lunar eclipse energy. What is your sign, Isabel? Let's see. Do you have a lot of water, moon? I get Saturn's discipline. Now, Saturn is in Pisces right now. So this is something connected to the Saturn. That does deal with the past. And the fact that it's retrograde means it's something that we need to release and um, rebuild. So, you let it go so you can move forward. but you have to master, a little bit more working. Yeah, September 16th, Virgo. That's right. So for us, Virgo, because I'm Virgo, we're going to be more affected by this eclipse than a lot of people. And there's definitely also this Saturn effect of the Piscean energy that's in retrograde. And the little word down at the bottom under Saturn's discipline is crafting your skills. So you're doing some leveling up work. I'm thinking that you're purging the feels. All right, you're going to have that sensitivity, and it's kind of then you just go with it because I think your energy is shifting. The way forward into the future. Yes. Your energy, I think, is elevating and you're leveling up on your skills, so to speak, your energy, your sensitivity. That's why. And it's okay. Just let it experience it, like a cloud that's coming into your sphere. Feel it, let it, understand it, let it go in love and just release it. Yes. Open. Old feelings that are bottled up, that we don't even remember stuffing down there, you know? Just let it go. If you get tearful or need to have a few moments in the shower just to kind of release, do it. Like even like a ritualistic bath and stuff like that is very good. It's very strange to have two wives be so friendly. Oh, yeah, sorry. And yeah, changing times. And this is like generational as well. It says generations or civilizations, changing times. The energy's shifting. I think it's also for us generational as well, stuff that we are overcoming and working on releasing so that we can level up our energy no matter where we're at. We don't have to all be like wizards and stuff. Um, Radiant sun, life force. Yeah, this is you're just releasing, okay? And you're right where you should be. It's nothing wrong. You're just preparing to open up so that you can receive, I think, brighter, lighter energy that's shifting where we let go of the baggage that we've carried around from our families and our growing up. That stuff is often still in our pockets and we don't even realize it. I feel like I've got like a eyelash here. Sorry. I'm so glad I didn't put on mascara. I would have been like, eh. So you definitely are like cleansing energy going. Makes sense. You do a cleansing shower. Yes, that's my thing too. I like to take my shower head and just like, because I've got spinal stenosis in my neck. So if you have that, and even if you're just, I don't have to tell you, you do it, it feels good. Put the warm water on there and just let it take that anxiety and that energy down. And I think it's fun to use all the different herbs and oils that they have to spa myself out. And it makes me in a so much better mood. It really does. And it gives me self-love. And that's what we need to do a lot of during this time of Trump. Because honestly, it's the only thing we're going to have the urge to take that bath, you know? And I see that your energy is just keeping up with what it should do. It's shedding what it's needing to shed and trying to do that. And you got radiant sun and changing times, and you're releasing generational big stuff. Warrior of Mars, battles for dominance. Okay. And I'm sure the battle for control uh, can stir up within and ethereal echoes, past lives or timelines. So again, that's even more than just past this life. We're talking not just, well, it did say generations, didn't it? So just like lint in your pockets. Exactly. Salt on my feet. There you go. So you're releasing a lot of even past life stuff. This is a big one. Ooh, this is letting us know that I think this one is a big one coming, and a good one, like a big wave to ride, where we release our baggage and say, "Toodles, I am done with that. I am turning and embracing, where I need to be in the future, and not just the future, but in the present. I am present. I am here to receive and to act, to get busy." And you have veil of illusion, discerning deception. So I think you're fine tuning your bullshit meter, and empowered choice. You have free will. This to me is also using wisely your own free will, your own sense of empowerment, your own sovereignty, and greater sense of that, and seeing through the lies of society, of the world. Pillar of support, assistance, and evolving essence. Naivety softens, wisdom blooms. I think, yeah, you're in a really good track of growth where you're strengthening like a pillar here, and you're supporting the light, I think, that we need to face the darkness right now. Spiritually, just by going in there and just being an anchor of light that is cleansing themselves in the shower on earth, you're bringing in light to this darkness. And that's what we all need to realize. It's not complicated. We don't have to go hide in a cave and only eat, a macrobiotic diet. And I mean, like, if you need to do that, that's cool. But, if you got to wing it more like me, you just set your intention and pay attention and work on it mindfully, you know, and they don't expect perfection. That is an earthly misnomer. That is such a load of rubbish. And I think you're going to be figuring that out, Isabel. So you're right where you need to be. Just shed like you need to. TLC. It does feel big. It really does. I love to use the foot brush in the shower and massage them. Yes, and I like to use the Japanese, what do you call that? The one the skin that you use on the skin. There's a certain name for it. Skin brush, I guess. I love that. That is so great because it really gets your circulation going, helps with the lymph nodes if you haven't used them. And they're not very expensive. You can find them in a lot of different shops. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Sometimes I get down because my channel isn't growing as much and they're cutting into it. And then I get cards that are just like, be patient, just let it go. You'll get what God's directing your way. And I'm just like, okay, thanks. You know, it's true. And we're made to feel like we have to be perfect. And that's just, God loves us just the way we are, warts and all. It's like that is not part of the requirement. It's a human misnomer, of what is required. And it's a horrible thing that we do to ourselves. It's torture. That's not helpful, not helpful. We go off in the wrong direction when we think that we have to be perfect. That's a way to become an addict. But you're right where you should be. All right, Isabel. All right, Lynette. I have an idea for a mystery book. I can't wait to find out about all your book stuff because I am wanting to get back into my books and back into being able to focus enough. Um, so that's part of my thing, and as well as like release of clutter in this house, getting someone in professionally to help us. Oh my Lord, yes. You know, I dream of a well-ordered space. All right. So, Lynette, let me set this deck down. Well, you know what I want to try for you for some reason. Now, it may not mesh, but we'll see if it's going to work out. I wanted to use this, gosh dang it. And it's the Dark Earth Oracle, and this is the other beautiful deck by Stephanie Alia. I really enjoy her Sleepwalker deck, which is the Somnorium. I can never say it. I use Painstone on my, oh yes, my mom used to use that. That's a really good thing to do too. And again, we have all these little nodes and everything here on our body, and so it helps with our circulation as well when we do that. Really good for us. And then a big, nice glass of water afterward. I'm okay with being a guinea pig. Me too. It's like, yeah, good. I am too, because look how gorge. Oh, it's green. So you know my green screen's crapping out on it. But if you look at it, you know, after the live on your own screen, aside from my blue my green screen, you'll see what I mean. And there's also a green halo that's you can't see it, unfortunately, because of my stuff, but it's a beautiful emerald, really emerald, uh, gorgeous jeweled green metallic foil on the sides. All right. Oh, I just love her art. All right, so let's just go with that because it's gorgeous. All right, let's see what we get. I always trust that Spirit will find the cards that it knows my meat-like head will associate with, or it tries to. And that's what I like using these tools because it helps me to refine my sense of symbol and energy over time. I've been doing this a long time, and I think I should be a lot farther along than I am, but that's me. That's my critical mind as well. I'm fine, but I just think, my God, I still feel like this is so much to learn, and it's wonderful. I'm enjoying it every step of the way. I'll take a look at your question a little later, love bug. I might be able to answer it with very quickly, but right now I'm going to do Lynette's. And if I have a moment after the live, I might be able to get that. But yes, Isadora's right. I am full up. So Lynette, we just your energy is very much green to me for some reason. I think I have synesthesia. I'm probably not saying that right. You have a great idea for a mystery book. Ooh, I love it. Drawn from a specific situation I'm familiar with. How will the book series do? All right. Hear that, guides? How will this book series do? This mystery. How will this do for Lynette? This inspiration that she has. Lynette and her book. It's hot here, you all. Ooh, it is. And when it's sunny here at the coast near Daly City, um, this means it is really hot inland. Green, I always liked Kermit the Frog. Well, I get this color wheel that I've got here is just I'm feeling you in that. And this deck is that the palette of greens. Okay, we're getting collective consciousness. Well, this card's popping right out, and these are because it doesn't have any green there. And you can see the hot pink. So we're getting collective consciousness. That's a positive card. And mimicry. So there's a flavor that you're bringing in. And I'm getting astral realms. Ooh, look at this. This is cool. I think you're going to help people open up their intuition or maybe help them to tap into the collective consciousness, maybe by something you may not necessarily, oh, you have a bit of a migraine, and I'm drinking water enhancer with magnesium, so I'm a little weak. That's okay. That's all good. That's very good for you. You've got the astral energy kicking on. It's very active. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And we're getting a lot of pink, gold, orange, pale pink, hot pink, purple energy. And I feel like color is somehow super important to relate to you. I don't know why I'm saying that. Divine timing. Just follow your intuition. Intention. Yep, there's you. I think this is a green light on your intention. And self-care, absolutely. And tapping into the collective consciousness, the astral realm, is very nurturing, inspiring further with the divine timing. It's like, yes, sister, yes. Look, there you are in your cute little pink zoom. And you're up by a clock. And you got long green hair. Really cool. Huh. It looks like it says 1040 or something like that. Divine timing. So trust on the divine. You just keep your intentions there. And we get ego, looking at ego, taking away the mask of ego, making people look deeper. Interesting. And sanctuary. Oh, I think it's a good idea. Your little slice of heaven. I think it's going to be a positive thing for you to follow through. It looks like it's very enriching. And also, definitely the self-care is a big, big green light. And letting go of ego and all the demands that ego makes of you. Like you should be doing this, that, and focus on your intention, your creative intention. Tap into that amplifying collective consciousness and to that astral realm feeling that you're getting and make use of it for sure. And we get dominion. Now, this is interesting. Here's the teardrop, and here's like the earth. An eye of the mystic. What do you, what are the chances? I pull a card with an eye actually on it, and then I get a card that's Eye of the Mystic in the words. So there is dominion in the Eye of the Mystic. You have vision, clairvoyance going on, or that wants to amp up. So I think this would is a good choice. I think you are following through on a deeper level than maybe you're even aware of, even just to think to do this right now. It does sound like a great creation, Gail. Love bug. You have to understand other people are ahead of you. Okay? It's something I was going to explore, but it may be better to do it via fiction. Yeah, I think so, especially with the astral type realm. Um, that feels like science fiction, even something that can really kick the doors off and open up the mystical eye. That's all I can say. You feel that pull, follow it. It looks like you know what you're doing, or you will as it opens up. Very good thing. And it's definitely the self-care that seems to kind of be the fertile ground for that, you know? Yeah, clairvoyance. You might even start feeling the Eye of the Mystic and Dominion. And the card, here you have the teardrop. That's a seer. And the next card says Eye of the Mystic. A mystic is someone that's sensitive, that can pick up on things. And often with the eye, it's usually you see things in your head. It could be you're seeing a storyline in your head. And that's still a clairvoyant kind of an energy or ability. That's what's coming up here. Oh, where's the other thing? Thoughts and memory and expansion. I think it's a really good idea, and you get expansion on it. I think it opens up a whole nother domain for you creatively. Those colors are fantastic. And I don't see anything. I feel like it's like relax and enjoy the inspiration and take it in and be inspired by it and see things in your mind's eye. Linda G said for me, writing is like channeling. Ah, there you go. I'm kind of getting the same thing. And I'm glad that I can kind of expand in a little bit more way that you've got that ability. It's there and it's seeing in your mind's eye and being able to open up to allow it to be what it's going to be and being that witness. So I think, yeah, you just don't realize that's what you're doing because you've been doing it for so long. But that's a normal thing. Yeah, absolutely. I would say if you weren't doing that, I would be concerned about you for real. But it looks like it gets amplified and maybe with this coming change in energy. Oops. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay, love bug. Let's see if I can just address your thing real quick. Okay, Queen. Why did I see a boy astral project to my church like a spirit? Oh, and it said, Queens isn't supposed to be in here with a smirk. Well, if you saw something like that, and it's certainly possible, I've seen all kinds of things that I didn't anticipate to see. It just means you're able to see them. And they know that. So they're calling you out. It just is someone trying to get your attention. If you recognize this person, um, then maybe you're connecting with their energy. This could also be a guide. So it just sounds like you've got your own abilities opening up so you can see different beings. Not all of them are uh, bad, uh, but you have to use discernment and, they can be playful. So if you saw a playful spirit, it might be reminding you to lighten up and to have a bit of fun and not be too rigid. There's a whole lot of different things there. And if anything, by his playful, non-threatening kind of manner, I would presume, yeah, that that's what's going on. So just write that down, take a note, and keep keep a journal of things like that if you have that happen. That's what I've done. And sounds like you have a sensitivity and you have a very playful spirit. If they have a sense of humor. People forget that there is a sense of humor by spirit, whether we're in body or out of body, because our natural state is out of body. So, you know, and it just seems weird to us now because we are so conditioned to being in a body until you get sleep paralysis. That's no fun. So I hope that helped you. Hope that helped you. It might be a message just to remember to have a laugh, to lighten up, and to enjoy being connected to God, no matter where you are. Okay, Lori, Christine, do you have a message for me from my guides? I'm in great need of hope and prosperity right now. I hear you. I think, again, we're all feeling the pressure of the stuff, the anxieties and things that we've been stuffing for a long time. I feel like it's kind of, we're, feeling it being pushed. The buttons are being pushed. And that makes sense because we've got a full moon, we've got the energy, building, and then we're going to have that crazy super moon energy and eclipse. We won't be able to see it here in the United States, but that doesn't mean that that effect doesn't affect us, And I think this one's going to affect us all. I do. I think this is a biggie. Um, Real leveling up. Okay, so let's see from your guides, Lori Christine. Lori Christine. Do I want to use? I think I want to use a signature deck for you, Lori. I'll have to use this Dark Earth Oracle a bit more and read up on it. There is a little um, booklet, like I said, that comes with it, and I want to read through that and get to know it better. And this, I want to show you this real quick. Um, Inside the book, it's got a little saying on the inside of it, the lid. It says, "Home is Earth, expansion is in the stars. We will journey soon." Hmm. Home is Earth. Well, expansion is in the stars. We will journey soon. Okay. Well, this is based on Earth Oracle, so the earthly things of the earth, earth spirits. Okay. We got so much solar and lunar energy, lunar and solar energy coming to shift us around here. I think that's going to be really something we all need to be mindful of. And I think feelings like Lori Christine has described having are not unusual. And in fact, I think we're being pushed to let go of things that no longer serve us, that stress us out, if we're, especially if you're a people pleaser, um, you have to, you know, have your boundaries and trust your instinct. Okay. All right. Yeah, I feel like this is the deck for you. So again, let me hold that up. Another Trish James deck, Signature Oracle, and that's still available. Okay. Lori Christine. We dial into your energy, sweetie. Let's see. Messages for Lori, please. She's felt heavy and just another one describing feeling heavy and kind of sad. Gets to be too much sometimes. We're only, but you don't want to shut down your feelings. You just need to nurture them. And definitely take a break from news because it's going to go on without us. Trust and believe. Do what you need to do to keep your sanity and to feel, to have good moods. And don't feel guilty for having a good mood either. Okay, Lori. Thank you for being patient with me. Ooh, this one has a silver foil side. Relax, do not stress. Damn it. Relax, do not stress. Okay, you see that now? I think some TLC is being called. Endings, closing chapter. So we're at that cyclic thing again where we are ending a chapter and one door closes and another is going to open. Okay, you're just kind of in the in between spot, so they want you to breathe because that's really an uncomfortable. I can see why you feel that way. Manipulated behind your back, you might feel that things, outside your control are being manipulated. And this is a need to cleanse. What if, yeah, you guys, it's the energy right now. Cleanse mind, body, home. Look at, she's even in the bathtub. Get yourself a ritual bath, Lori. Do it. and anyone else so moved, because this is the energy that is perfect for the moon and solar changes that we have that will affect us. You know, we don't see it coming. Okay, lost, need direction. Perhaps you're feeling that way. And there's a full moon behind them. So it's illuminated through intuition. But you have to trust that. Favorable outcome. Okay, it's telling me to, letting me know to tell you this is a good thing to see. That just breathe, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna get through this. You just gotta breathe in between the spaces of where the certainty of prosperity, of money, things like that that you need. You have a favorable outcome coming to you, although you do feel lost and like you don't have any direction. But trust, put your faith. It's so easy. I want you to know. I know it's not easy, but trust God, give it over, and just say, I'm fresh out. And I'm going to sit here in this bath of wonderful scents and things that recharge my being. And I'm going to allow you to bring to me what I'm in need of and help me and guide me toward what I need. It's like you're going to have to trust God. Meditation, go within. I'm telling you. So you have to go into being still and quiet and trusting and feeling that deep inner core intuitive feeling, emotional fulfillment. There's blessings coming your way. And the emotions are going to shift and change as well. And what is been depleted will be full with the Ace of Cups. This is an Ace of Cups. This is a full cup. So this fear of lack that is torturing you, let it go. Leap. Don't hold back. Take a leap of faith. Trust God. Just trust. Because what else can you do? Sometimes they're like, I'm fresh out. I can't do anything. I'm not brave. I just don't have any other alternative. you know? Goals, stepping stones. One thing at a time, sister. One thing at a time. Small bites at first. Tackle your goals a bit at a time. Stepping stones. Make a plan. Outline. Sometimes when we don't have any other control, writing it out on paper about what we're feeling and, goals and things like that can really get us through until things are moving more openly in a way that we can discern. Because I see you feeling lost, but they're telling you to go within, trust your intuition, trust God, let it go, don't hold back, and do the work, reward for effort. So, and there's the pentacle she's holding there. So, as far as the finances, you know, I don't see it being a problem. I think things are going to work out somehow, as God often does. Reflect accountability. As always, we are all called to look at how we can change things and make it even less of an issue for any kind next time, what we can be aware of. Again, not a call to perfection, but just perspective. Let go heavy burdens. All right, Lori? They really want you to relax. Get into that shower or bath and give yourself a spa treatment. That's what we're all to do this week. I'm serious. That is the reading for also all of us this week that we're getting, I think, regardless. It's going to be okay, Lori. And just practice giving it over to God. Do what you can do. Put in the work, do what you can do, and then you have to let go because it's just too heavy of a burden to hold on to. It's not good for you. Okay? And it's going to be all right. And just say thank you afterward, give it over and say, I'm going to trust you. I am really struggling with that, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go into my spa bathroom and just take care of, give myself some TLC, okay? And I think that that's a good idea for all of us this week because we're going to go through a lot of emotional shedding of things from the past and past lives, even. So, okay, I hope that's helpful. Okay, Isabel, wanting to look and check in on the orange blob today. Shall we take a look, you guys? All right. You feel like you've been in a holding pattern for years. I hear you. Me too. Since 20, well, before 2020. Yeah, years. I have been in a holding pattern in many ways. As Don Lemon, yes, I agree. That's why I like watching him and shut off the TV. Seriously. Go get in something that makes you feel good, like if you have a bath, a ritual bath with the oils and the whatever, or your favorite, and just let go. And don't feel like you have to have all the answers right now. It's okay that you don't, just let go. You got it. Yeah, and I mean, you can give your empathy, but you still don't let it drain you. You have to definitely, Gail, right? I'm feeling it too. I know what I'm going to be doing. I can't use the bath to get myself out because I don't have one of those things. But I do have a shower bench my husband sets me on, so I'm going to be sitting there with my, and I got some nice uh body scrubs. I'm going to be cleansing the chakras, all that business, calling in the angels. They were going to be going, oh, she's naked again. And that's the other thing I got, humor. Taking back our power this Trump era with humor is really healing. And it actually is like kryptonite to him. So let's take a look. The orange blob. Speaking of, let's see. What do we get with Trump? How is he feeling today? What should we know about that he isn't telling us? Because he's sneaky and he's a deceiver. He straight up gets the devil card. And just like Melania did, when I saw that this afternoon and she got straight up got the devil card just like he did, I thought, oh my God, birds of a feather, they really are. You can't give her any points for being a woman. Seriously. No, she's all transactional Barbie. Okay. Ugh. All right. I'm gonna think on him now. All right. I feel like I'm just kind of observing him like a spirit in a room, like you do when you're in your dream time and you're just watching. Okay. What do we need to know about Trump right now that would be beneficial to us to be aware of? We're checking in on him today, although I can't speak. Okay. Strength, fierce attitude, paired with roll the dice, take a chance. Oh, great. Hmm. I think this is people standing up to a bully, maybe even though as well. Strength, fierce attitude, taking a chance like Gavin's doing, and standing up fiercely. Speaking truth to power is a repeated message that I get. So more people standing up to him. Okay. Creative, inspired ideas. Bored, desiring more. I guess he's wanting to do more, what, decoration in the other room that he was on about. Oh my God, about all that gold stuff. Remember? He was talking about, I don't know, the decor. And it was just, he got really weird. That's the only way she could stand to be with him. It's true. It's true. Now, there's an interest with, there's something here with him being the home, family. So he's being focused on inspirational ideas because he's bored. He wants to do more in the White House. I think he wants to do more change. I hope not. He sees it as his family nest. He's really taking over. Ugh. Knowledge, more information. I feel like that's going to come out, that he's going to be looking to do more of that. Yeah, cleanse mind, body, home. He thinks he's cleansing. I'd say you're destroying, but whatever. That rose garden is not pretty anymore. And then there's travel, time to get away. He's going to want to, I think, go somewhere else. What, go back to Mar-a-Lago? I don't know. Hmm. Is that just mentally? Cleanse, mind, body, home, time to get away. He's like, this is the sundowner stuff, the mental stuff. He's on a little mental journey. Secret. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Keep it to yourself. That won't happen because he always has to tell on himself. He can't keep that a secret. Illusion, not as it seems. So he's going to give more secrets about what he's up to away. That, of course, what he says he's doing and what he's doing are two different things. The illusion, it's not as it seems. And he's going to, I think, be projecting. Um, and I know, what was that? There was something about, uh, I don't know, his crap with Greenland and all of that. Yeah, that they said that he hadn't been seen, and he's sending the troops to Boston. Mm, yeah. It's like he just wants something to go off. He just wants somebody to lose their cool or misbehave. And, from last I heard, they were picking up garbage in other cities that they're stationed in because there's just really not, at the end of the day, so much for them to do. He needs to take them into the red states. I'm telling you. They have more, what? Louisiana has 4 times more crime than California? LA, no less. Perspective, shift focus. And that is paired with beginning, new start. Yeah, he's becoming more like an infant. Let me see. There is a new energy, though, that is coming in. That is an energy that is more like infantile. Yeah, he's collaborating, working together, like with Putin. We know that, and other people, but he's got brain fog and headache. Okay, now we're starting to pick up something. So that's stress, I think, of working with other people that he's got coming is going to cause him more symptoms with brain fog and headache. Yeah, this is challenging. It's actually a difficult situation, and he's being manipulated behind his back. Gasp. No, you would never think. And that totally feels like Putin. Fatigue, running on empty. So he's continuing to decline here. He might be level for a few days and then down, down. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing about the cards. opportunity. But this is around some sort of new opportunity that he's trying to do that's challenging and it's draining his energy. He's got fatigue, brain fog, he's not clear. That doesn't bode well. Let's see what happens with that. He wants to let go of heavy burdens and be organized, prepared, and ready. Yeah, dream on. That's not what that GOP does. Okay. That just tells me if he's letting go, then he's just not doing what he should be doing. And he's assuming things are all ready and stuff. And I'm getting again that he's focused back on effing around in the White House with the home environment, life, the body. It's like he's focusing on changes once again there. Ooh, and that would be he's focused on like home improvement. I feel so weird when I have to look into his brain. So we're gonna get more of that salad talk. I think he's trying to learn about that so that he has more something focused to be content with, inner peace. He's seeking to find something that makes him feel powerful. And I think when he makes these changes in the White House, it's something that instantly he could see the effect of and say, I've done something. Yeah, you destroyed it again. You didn't put in more roses or make it even nicer. You made it like a friggin' tomb. What's nice, about that? I mean, but look what he did to his ex-wife. And I definitely had her spirit around him. Oh, you know what? Duh. I should read you what I got on the cards that popped up earlier when I picked up on Melania. Okay, so here it was. Um, okay, let me find that. Yeah. So you know that thing with Melania, it's going to get heated into a hostile confrontation. And then I got a card of like head trauma and mental decline. So that's like, to me, touching into his mental decline is continuing while this is happening. This hostile confrontation, that might even make him decline more. If something comes up with her that exposes her as corrupt and that makes her then anxious at some point, it's going to exacerbate an already declining man. And then we get an anniversary of an ex's uh, celebration. So I got to look that up. What's Ivana's birthday, sorry. Let me just look that up. I never, wasn't she, was she Taurus as well? I always have to do this. It doesn't stay in my brain. February 20th. Pisces, right? Yeah, I think it's Pisces. So February 20th, maybe around the time of some kind of date that is a celebration or would have been a celebration. Now, it showed me mother and nurture, but his mother wasn't very nurturing. So I think, not that Ivana was, but I think compared to his mother, she probably was. Um, and then it showed me the soulmate and companion card and the anniversary celebration, the energy of her being around him. So I really felt like I feel like Ivana's energy being around him. And this could be, maybe this is coming, maybe that's a sign of when this might happen with Melania. Maybe it's saying around Ivana's birth date, February, or some other date, like an anniversary. It's Ivanka, October 30th. Yeah, that's the daughter, but his wife, Ivana, is February 20th. So I think maybe we're being given that date. Um, this is somebody that has passed on, by the way. Is somebody that had passed on the other side that was showing up around him during his time with confrontation, this hostile confrontation, because Melania's got a scandal going on and his brain is going down the tubes. Um, and then it feels like to me like Spirit was using her energy and her birth date and also signifying she's hanging around watching this. Um, because you know how she always said that she was the real first lady, and it really pissed Melania off. There's that. And because she's still seeing herself as his soulmate and companion. And I've always kind of felt like that. And so I ask if Trump will face upcoming intense cycle of decline. And my notes are that I'm so glad I take notes. I got leader and spine issues, or his back might start bothering him. And then I got paired with that violent attack, and it was a shark like Jaws coming out of the water. And so it could either be that there could be a violent situation, or maybe just it is a very painful sense of injury, of some way here. Something with his back might be bothering him, and he's not anticipating this. No injured ear, okay? No maxi pad on the head and magic ears that show no damage. He should be dog-eared, right? As they say. Um, so there is something about we have to find when was their anniversary as well. We should look at her birthday and maybe the month of what their anniversary was. What was anyone find that? Let me just see what was Trump's wedding anniversary. That's what I need to know. And wedding anniversary. Let's see what I got. April 9th. They were married on April 9th, 1997. So we could look at February or potentially April as those times. Because it did say anniversary, like celebration. That's also birthday. That's why I went and looked at her birthday. And she's the mother of his children, not Melania. Melania's, the father. She's the mother, she's mothered Baron, but that's it. So I ask if he's going to have another intense cycle of decline coming in, and I got the violent situation. I don't know if that's another attempt. Uh, Maybe it's the GOP trying to get rid of him. I don't know. I'm saying that with a bit of a hmm. Um, because that's strange to get such a dramatic card of that attack. But he's not anticipating it. It could be another attempt, if you know what I mean. And then, but he got the card of holding on, resilient, uh, youth gone so soon. Um, I think it's not going to necessarily work if they're trying to use another proxy like that kid. I do think there's something wrong with that whole thing with the ear and that kid that was like, I don't know how that but I'm getting something about that. And I don't know with this. I think there's going to be definitely continued decline. And I think they might try and bring him to his breaking moment, shall we say, of when he would be oot. Love the set tonight. Thank you. I'm feeling green. I want to, And Rudy Giuliani was in a car accident. He's in the hospital right now. Hmm. Let's take a few look at him real quick. I'll just grab this deck and then I'll get to the next question, next couple questions, and we'll just do a quick rating for the week. I'm in no rush. I'm enjoying myself. I got a cup of coffee here I need to drink. I did take my antihistamine this morning, so I do feel a little more clear. You're back. Thank you, Ash. We're getting to you. She's priming Baron to run deep. Yep, she is. And that's another one I need to look at. I haven't looked at Baron, but I'm going to start. He's an adult. I can start doing that. He's a young adult. Okay. So let's just take a look at Rudy for a moment. Rudy. Gosh, that guy's sick. He is like radioactive Rudy. I don't know how he's hanging on. Kind of like a cockroach. And Susan Clark, again, thank you for joining us. And if you're just lurking, hello. Thank you too. Well, we have more than one person here. He's got a group of people there, okay, involved. I don't know what, I have to look it up. So there's more than one person involved apparently in this accident. Yes, okay. And we do get the Ace of Wands. That's kind of an energetic burst right there. It certainly could be the accident. The release of that kind of energy, fire. I wonder if it's neurological. Hmm. I'm getting something that is not apparent, or there's something that's hidden. I hope that's not a hidden injury. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And the Emperor, that's, I think, him, because he's an older man, and that would be about his age range, excuse me. But there's also something that's secret. Maybe it's also secrets around Trump. What's going on with that? The Empress. Now we're getting, well, maybe his wife. Is he still married even? The Emperor and the Empress. My husband, wife, secret. And the Hanged Man. Yeah, delayed. He's going to be hung up for a while, laid up. It's an opportunity for him to change his perspective and see things from another point of view, a more deep point of view. They've got some secrets. There's something around this accident, and there's a man and a woman. Is there broken bones? That could be stroke energy. And you can have those mini ones. My uh, father-in-law um, has had them. Now you think he's divorced. Maybe are these people, because it did say more than one involved, is the husband and wife, is there a husband and wife involved in that accident? Can you guys let me know? Because I'm getting a husband and wife, and there's some delay. I think they'll be okay, but there's also some delay, I think, there's something secretive here. What's going on? Ace of Pentacles, I think this is compensation, and the Queen of Swords, it becomes clear that gets sorted out. There is injury, though, and I think the heart could be affected, circulation. It's a genetic thing, maybe, and there's money here too. This is a lot of money. Should watch that story. I think he's divorced. I can't imagine that. I can't. He has a very strange life. There's an ending here coming up for him. And the past. It's like there's something about his past that is that final puzzle piece that feels like it clicks into place and there's something that's completed. Maybe he'll have completed his timeline here. When's his birthday? Let's see. Rudy. Only one Rudy. May the 28th. He's another Gemini. That's right. Okay. God, he's crazy looking. He stopped to help a woman who was having a domestic problem. Really? Because I do get the man, okay, and I had the high priestess. There's some secret around or something hidden about him. And then I got the wife, and there was something that's delayed, or the hanged man was her next card. So I don't know. That's them. I don't know quite how that fits, but maybe that they're just going to check out. I don't know. There's something here with money involved and something being completed. I'm sure insurance folks will be working their angles because there's a lot of money. And maybe Rudy's going to get something, a bone thrown to him. There's justice, okay, and he does have like legal recourse and temperance. So this gets worked out in a fair manner, apparently. He called 911 and waited until the police arrived. Oh, it looks like it looks like things work out for him. You know, it looks like justice will take up their then, recourse is following through as it should. Well, that's something good that he did. Um, and I don't think it was planned. This doesn't look like it. Like, he broke his bones. Jeez, Louise, what did he do? So he must have hit him with the car, huh? What a nut. You just never know. You just never know. These days, yeah, we have the couple and delusional, and we have maybe altered thinking through substance or other problems, yeah, that energy is around him. King of Cups, that's probably the guy. Yeah, fighting. He's going to be in trouble for assault. So I think Rudy's going to get some good chunk of change, and he probably needs it. That's interesting, eh? All right. Ash, you're next, and then Gail. All right. Thank you for being so patient with me. I like taking my time. So, my question is, how will this semester at college go for me? Hi, they are Narcissus. Is Rudy trying to make it to heaven? I think he might be. Heaven will take anyone that is realizing the error other ways. You got to realize it, though, and feel bad. He was rear-ended and the other car was going at a high speed. Yikes. You can really get hurt that way. No kidding. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Ash, let's take a look at how will Ash's school, the semester at college go for him? This semester. What does he need to be aware of? Ooh, it's warm in here. I see an offer potentially coming here. And I think it's inspiring. There's a page of wands. So there's this inspirational uh, sparkle of energy that kind of comes around that offer. This looks good. There is something that is appealing, I think, artistically to you through that cup energy. Um, and this is waiting, and this is the future looking forward and expanding. And it's good. It's like you're tracking, just keep as you are with this Four of Wands, because you're going from the Page of Wands. Well, you've got the Page of Wands and I'm sorry, the Three of Wands. So you're expanding your creative energy and where you're putting it uh, for future, you know, growth. And it looks like it's going in the right direction. And the Magician. This is you manifesting. I think this is good. Use communication if you're not sure about things that you're doing, where school is concerned, and make sure communication is clear, so that you can give it your best go. I think that's a really empowering card because it's connected to the Three of Wands. So there's growth, and then there's real creative, communicative thought, that mercurial sense of expansion to me with the mind and giving example and just the whole thing with this semester with school. I think you will be learning and expanding your understanding and being able to articulate that understanding. And you're growing and you will continue to grow into the future. It's a really good time that something is coming your way with that Knight of Cups that's very inspiring learning wise. And then we have clarity with the Queen of Swords through the moon, using your intuition and I think common sense through things that are not clear. Using it where fears are concerned that really don't maybe have a place. I think this moon energy too is going to affect you again, helping you to clarify, helping you to look at what you need to shed, let go of, so you can open up and move forward. This will be like, this is release of pain, sorrow, and I see lightening up, the mood, having a good time. Just make sure that you don't get a monstrous hangover or anything like that. Um, this could be also some issues with partnerships. Sometimes there can be issues there. Let me see what I get off of that. I see patience, and you are working on goals, and you're doing well, and it's paired, but you're tempted. Ooh, watch out for the party monster or for temptation that wants to uh, drag your energy away and expend it on nonsense. And that can be people too, pleasure. I feel like it can be a little bit of the partying or maybe even just a bad habit of staying up late, if you don't party. There's just like whatever it is that is really better not to allow to drive your life's car. You don't empower it. Don't empower that. Be mindful of temptation this semester to be too into personal pleasure, you know, especially if you get sort of like a good bit of it under your belt and you're feeling more confident. You might be feeling like I can play a little bit, but it's really not recommended. Yeah, I feel that there's something intuitive that you'll miss out on. It might be with a female, but it might be someone that is, I don't know, sticky fingers or theft. Um, Somebody you might have an intuitive feeling about, like they might take something if you're under the influence, of yours that they, more than they should, or something along those lines. And yeah, there's a need to be watchful, to be aware, not to be altered. Yeah, because there are some secretive things that you need to be aware of. And by using your intuition, Ash. So keep sober as much as possible. I know that sounds crazy, but or whatever that, and I do think it's like partying pleasure kind of pursuits because there's somebody that could take advantage of while your guard is down. Um, could be like theft oriented thing. And that can be avoided if you're not under the influence or in that company of that person. I hope that makes sense. And I get the Three of Cups. I get celebration and moving into a smoother time. It's going to be a rough at the, you're going to have your rough moments, but then your work, I think, pays off and you're off to a great start. And I can see why you might be inclined to party a bit more. It looks like more friendships, people that are kind of on your wavelength coming into the picture. Some changes with friendships this semester and meeting people as well. So that's what I get. I hope that's helpful, Ash. Hey, Zena, how are you? Inspiring cards for college. They are, and it's typical for college. You work so hard, you get like, all work and no play. But just make sure your play doesn't give you a hangover. Go do something that's fun and silly, but not going to cause you to not kind of have your senses about you. Okay. Gail, your question, will I meet my twin flame in my next life again? Will we find each other again? Of course. That's something, this is that fear that we have that's very earthly, that we're taught that when someone disappears, they're no longer with us. They're here with us. They're just, you can't take away the connection. Um, they just don't have a body. In fact, they can be with us more without the body because, before the body was diseased or hurt or injured or whatever. And so if somebody is no longer incarnate, there's all kinds of change that can happen. So you will find each other. And we're not, that's an illusion that that somehow we get disconnected. No, it's always there. It's just so quiet in the background that we kind of get a little rattled and we think, oh, I'm not going to lose them, am I? You know, because there's that earthly illusion. And we got to remember that that's not exactly the truth. That is a earthly perspective. And when we go outside of time and outside of Earth's timeline, that's very, very different. And that is always 24/7. They are 24/7. We're not because being in a body, it turns so much energy. Yeah, short one. Go ahead, Zena. Let's see what I get for you, Gail. What can you show me in, you know what? Maybe I will use that Neptune moon deck because that has that energy that you're kind of bringing in here. So let's use that, Gail. And I appreciate you guys hanging about and it's a little longer live this weekend, but I don't mind. Um, let's see. So gosh, at the next, oh my goodness, Sunday I will be live during, the eclipse day. I don't know what time. Is it in the evening? Well, lunar, duh, yeah. It is, and it's so we've got so many things going on, we're so multifaceted, and then we've got that part of the Earth part that kicks in, right? We have scientists now say we have light surrounding the human body when alive. Yep, and we've known that for years. You can feel it, that little force field. I felt it when one of my kitties passed and she died in my hands. I felt it in my hands. It tingled. And it wasn't just like I know what it feels like to lose circulation. It wasn't that. It was notable. They teach us so much, not just, love and exception, but we learned so much from our beloved fur babies. And please pray for Bear, please. Thank you for her infection and her broken kneecap to heal up as much as it can, and for her to have the best quality of life that we can give her. We can do well. All right, sorry, Gail. Had to bring up my baby. She is my baby. Okay. Let's see what cards we get for you and one of your soulmates. See, I think we have multiples. It just makes sense. But we do have people that we are more souls that we're more bonded with than others. But don't be surprised if you have more than one. Again, it's part of that earthly limitation and conditioning of thought of, you know, but the truth may be on the other side, you know, there's more than one. And there's no marriage or anything like that, so nobody's being weird. It's just love. It's understanding. I got your question, sweetie. All right. Gail and her soulmate, the one that is the most bonded with her. Will they find each other again in another? I'm getting yes, another life, because it's all going on at once. It's already happening. You and I just, for the sake of our brains, break it down into linear time, but it's already happening. Soul family, yes. Okay. Huh. Rhythm cycles flow with the tides. Absolutely. You don't need to fight this. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to have fear of lack, that there is some sort of break. That just doesn't happen. It's just the rhythm and the flow. I'm feeling like that. It's beautiful. And radiant sun, life force. Absolutely. And that person is the one that makes you shine the most, that you trust the most, that you know that not only wants you to shine, and smile and be silly and do all of that, but they would create a stage, if necessary. They're not trying to say, oh, I don't like it when you tell jokes. Some guys are really controlling at partners, period. And, that can be happening with women as well. So this person brings out the best in you. And yes, that is a radiant life force, your life on the other side, especially. You're connected there. You just don't realize it. Rhythm is a very pertinent word. There you go. There's one of your clues that you were looking for. Whispered realms, subtle transmission. So there's this, it feels like subtle, but felt stirring or activity on it, maybe in other realms with this person. Dreamlike, it feels like whispered realms, like in a dreamy feel. And a subtle transmission, maybe the subtle feeling of connecting with that person when you're asleep. I'm feeling like sleep. I get a lot of that, so I'm just probably associating it. But if it makes sense to you, Gail, winds of change, go with the flow again. You know, you end a cycle and you'll begin another cycle. You just go with the flow. Isabel, that's right. The twin flame reflects you. I like that. Eagle vision. under a watchful eye. Oh, don't think for a minute that they don't have an eye on you. They have eagle vision on you. What was I saying about once people are disincarnate, they don't have the meat suit to hamper their perspective? Cosmic law, balance, fairness, justice. It's the blueprint that you guys follow, and it's beyond earthly law. There's a cosmic law that connects you. And he is there always, and that's probably the whispering realm, whereas there's the subtle transmissions. This could be little sweet nothings in your ear when you're asleep, like I love you. You know how you feel when you see your loved one, and whether it's your fur baby or I do that to Bear. I come up to her, I love you. I get genetic alchemist, unlocking ancient codes. Ooh, that's super interesting. Now, I don't know how that will fit, but let's see what card you get with it. Veil of illusion, discerning deception. This is seeing through the earthly laws and, understanding the greater perspective. But there's also something here, and I don't know what to make of genetic alchemist and unlocking ancient codes, but I feel like the two of you together pull back the veil of illusion. You two work well together. So you'll be working on that. I think also helping you now to open your discernment, Gail. Oh, that's so wonderful. Sweet nothings every time you wake. That's a great way to wake up, man. Strong connection there. Yeah. And so he's got some downloads, I think, so that you see beyond the veil of illusion of the world that we're being told to awaken, from it and to realize, oh yeah, I came here to do this thing where I'm learning what it's like to be human, but I'm really eternal energy, and this is not what it seems quite. Yeah. And they have been there together before. Oh my God, genetic alchemist translates to you a lot. Good. I get stellar kin. So star seeds and cosmic family. Oh yeah, they're there. They're very there, very present for you. And that's just what you need to be aware when you get a little like, oh, are they there? Things have been quiet. They're there. Okay. So you definitely will. You haven't lost them. They're with you in the present, and just continue to enjoy that. I ask you because it gets strong, and I think I'm losing it. I know. You think this is crazy, but it's really not. You know what's crazy is the world of earthly rules. On the other side, that looks nuts. Of course, you're an eternal being, you know? This is just this side uh, boot camp, tough journey that you embarked upon for your growth, and it's going to test you. It's going to test you that way. You're not, yeah, I know. I know. I have, trust me, been there. Um, seen apparitions and said out loud, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing." And, stone sober, seeing it like, what the F, right? So you're fine. You're not crazy, and it's normal. What isn't normal is shutting off everything and not feeling, and this is so not the only thing that exists, you know. And I think most of us know that. All right. So it's all good, sweetheart. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'll take Zena's question, and I'll just close this out with a group reading. Okay? All right. So Zena, you've been feeling, I'm gonna try using the signature deck with Trish James for you. quite anxious and you've finished an important stage of your life and now you're a bit lost. A lot of people are. I think we're just at a pause moment where we shift before we shift into another chapter, before another chapter starts, another door opens, and we're kind of going to feel that uncomfortable feeling where we're in between states, that awkwardness. So I don't think, yeah, this is not the final destination. Really well said. Um, let's see what the higher power wants to say to you, and trust your instinct. What this is typical what we're getting right now, and I get big downloads, and I keep getting readings that say that we are releasing a lot of past stuff. This can be causing a great deal of anxiety and make you feel lost, because until the next kind of moment opens up with activity and something directive going on, we can feel very uncertain. And try not to focus on that or amplify that feeling, because you have to set it aside and just trust that the universe is guiding you. But let's just see what they want to share, because sometimes we do need to be refocused on Earth, because we get thinking that we're not enough. We get to thinking that we forget that we're much more powerful than we realize, and that we've got this veil of illusion here. And it does get crazy because, you're like, this world, this world is the crazy one. Okay. So let's see how goes at your energy and what you need to know, Zena, for Zena. Let's pull in the ancestors. What does Zena need to be aware of regarding her path and her anxiety? I think we need reassurance. We all do. I need it. I got it the other day from the cards when I was thinking about my channel. And I was thinking, God, they're cutting all my subs. What is up? Boo-hoo. And then the card showed me, don't worry about it, Maya. Let it go. It's going to be like that for a while. And then there's a different shift coming in. So I just thought, okay. And it really made a difference. Patience. It will take time. Okay. So we got to go with the flow again. Go with the flow. Don't resist the flow. Go with it. So anxiety can happen because we're trying to control everything. And you might need to loosen the grip of control. It might be the time to relax instead of do. Okay, let's see what else we get with that. Roll the dice, take a chance. Okay. So I think, again, that's going to be on God's time. There's taking a chance, and you're gonna be cued and know. Don't worry that you're gonna miss the moment. It's telling you this, there's a cool down time here that they're giving you. And usually that's for energy to settle. There's going to be more energetic shifts through the 7th and the next couple of weeks, because I think that following week, no, it's like, okay, we have the full moon and the eclipse on the 7th, and then on the 21st, we'll have the new moon and a partial solar eclipse. And it's just going to be very intense, intuitive, uh, subconscious energies being shifted around and purged and cleared. It's kind of messy. Harnessing, gathering energy. Use that energy towards something else. If you need to do laundry, seriously, go on a cleaning tangent, or creative tangent, where you rechannel that. You take that anxious energy and you just don't sit with it, but you do something actively positive with it, okay? Yeah, there's clarity and intellect, and you're going to find your clarity again. You just need to be patient. Um, Allow some breathing space. God will cue you when you should take a leap. And until then, like, gather your energy. Don't waste it through anxiety. Shift it toward doing something that kind of helps you to busy yourself and see something like, almost like when you quit smoking. Um, thank you, Isabel. It just reminds me of like you are ready for it and you keep yourself focused but relaxed and doing something that you enjoy, whether it's painting or taking photographs or redecorating, you know, just go for it. Evo, hello. Challenge, difficult situation that you face, but and you have this undecided mind. That's okay, but you're going to have clarity. And then you're going to get organized here, prepared and ready. And I think that's what you can do in the meantime is try to organize, work on one thing at a time, a chunk at a time. For me, it's going to be like this part of the room and then that part of the room. You get what I'm saying, and you get resilience and endurance. Don't worry. Let go. Let go of the worrying. Okay? Your higher power is driving the car. Success. And then you're going to see to charge ahead. You're going to know when to go. Again, go with the flow. You're going to know when you should go harder or softer. And I think it's going to level out. But there's going to be, I think, definitely through this solar and lunar energy, releasing and clarity coming into play, and you'll go through it, but it's going to put you right where you need to be. So don't worry about this. Um, and other people too, because you're not the only one saying this. And even I felt this way. And then I got the cards that just like, don't worry, I've got you. You know, go with the flow is going to be your motto. And all of us. You get this need for inactivity and quiet time, just to some downtime, just to relax. And maybe also focus on just going in and being still and drawing the love, the unconditional love towards you. Yeah, protect yourself, draw the light towards you during this time of inactivity, and ask your spirit guides for help. They're there. And just because things don't move quickly, it doesn't mean that they're not doing stuff. Just remember, once again, we don't see everything that's going on. They're there, though, and you are to draw upon them, and you get a favorable outcome. And they are more than wanting to help you. Okay? So get still so you can hear them. And I see that you come through this time cleaner, brighter, and your energy up several notches. Okay? It's just part of the process we're all being affected at this time by. And it's normal. And know that you're not alone. And if you need to, replay this and see how many other people are saying, I feel lost. It's really weird. I don't know why I feel this heaviness. You're not alone. We're shedding a lot of things that we need to let go of. Just let go of it. If it makes you need to cry a little bit, get it out. You will be fine. You will. Just remember that. And this can be a place. We create these places. Make it sometimes when I got crap going on all around me, and it's too much, I create a beach where I'm walking again. And I can feel and smell the brine and I focus on all those things and I I really get something out of it. So seriously, do the same. Give yourself that because you get the meditation card and where you just sit, be still a little, whether you're out in nature, whatever makes you feel comfortable, and just reconnect to the divine and your higher self. I think that's really what we all need to be doing. And shedding what we need to let go of, allowing ourselves to cry if we need to cry, even if we don't understand why we want to do it. You know, we don't need to resist it. Let us go with the flow. Let the tears flow, let it go. Better for you to process it than continue to hold it in. Okay? I love this. I'm excited about what will happen at college. You have such potential and so much cool stuff opening up. I think it's great, and you should be excited. So keep us in the loop. Um, you just, like I said, just watch the pl- temptation to pursue pleasure, whatever that be, because it looks like somebody might have sticky fingers or take something more than they should or do something that's a bit sneaky that's not cool. And it would be better if you had, your senses on, you know, blast rather than kind of, all right. Okay, let's take a look at a reading for us for the week. Let's see, which one will I use? Hmm. Let's try since we are doing the whole thing with the lunar and solar energy, let's use the Neptune Moon by Trish James. It's a Trish James kind of Sunday. Okay. So, guides, please help me to close out this series of readings for all subscribers and those that come across this video to read the energy that they need to be aware of, that we need to be aware of for this week, this coming week, the 1st of September. My goodness, to Sunday, the eclipse. What do we need to be aware of as a collective? Yeah, you've got this, Ash. Okay. So, for our week ahead, the vibrational alignment, frequencies around you or us. So, I think this is moon stuff and sun eclipse stuff is going to really have effect. And it's working on vibrational alignment and the frequencies that we might sense around us. We might pick up other people's sorrows, other people's energy. Just be aware that that might be what it is. Whatever, process it, let it go, like a cloud. That's been one of the best, most helpful pieces of advice. Let it go. If it's a cloud full of rain, you like let it let out. And distraction addiction, bound by technology. Maybe we need to spend less time online. Um, you know, and it doesn't mean we have to uh, not use it at all, but just less, because we don't want to be like constantly stuck to our cell phones and computers. It's a time to perhaps pull back from that because that might distract us from what we're actually picking up. Shift in perspective, a little different. So there's going to be shifts in our perspective coming, and it might not be by some great big margin, but it might be subtle, however profound. And it's paired with open your eyes, awakening remembrance. Remember who you truly are before you came to Earth, before this. That's the words of one of my guides to me. So open your eyes, remember who you were before you came here, because that's who you are. You still are that person, that being. Well, we're not a person, we're a being. We're beyond human. So there's a shift and open our eyes, awakening remembrance. Atmosphere, atmospheric influence, how you are affected. This is how the frequencies around you affect you, being more aware of that. And so we have to learn how to adjust our energies because it's pretty negative here and it could make you sick. Yeah, Mercury, the messenger, important information. Expect downloads, understandings coming, different insights. Get a notepad and write down what comes to you. Distortion bell. So we're called, you know how I keep getting about us really changing our ability to see through deception? We're being called to kick it up a notch because we're getting the distortion veil intentionally obscured. And that's like misinformation, um, stuff that governments do to try and make people feel powerless and believe falsehoods, lies. It keeps you powerless. So we need to be aware that there is agenda driven news, especially because that's connected also to the mercurial energy of messenger, the Mercury. This is elevation, ascension, ready to level up. Our energy is being prepared. And so we kind of doing the shedding of feelings and all kinds of stuff, and then opening up and then, you know, raising our vibration. And we get radiant sun, life force. Our chi energy is getting a boost. And we are elevating our energies this week. So you might feel more tired. You might need to drink more water, this kind of thing. All right. Yeah. Schumann resonance and solar flares. Definitely be looking into the celestial energy and more of that than just, you know, bull crap social posting, I think if you are online, put it more into that. Feed your brain, and your not just your brain, but your soul. That's make the difference in that way. Changing times. Again, this is big. And we're looking at generations and civilizations from the past. This is from past lifetimes. Again, this is a big energy shift. And I don't think we can fully appreciate it right now. Eye of revelation. Reality facade collapses. What have we been getting about the world, quote unquote, and seeing through the veil of distortion? Very interesting. And I think realizing how much of it is not factual. So empower your intuition, allow yourself to process, don't resist it, just go with the flow, give yourself TLC. Take a little holiday from spending too much time online. All right. And remember who you are, that you're fine. You're not just this human being with its faults and foibles. There's something more going on than meets the eye, and you're just not remembering it. Okay. Remembering to ground in whatever way with center. You, Ash. All right. There you go. Make sure that you ground as well. That's also very helpful. Maybe just even kicking off your shoes and putting them on the earth. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to close this out. That's our group read. It looks like we need to be taking note, and we'll come back together and see where we're at through this eclipse energy. It's so interesting. So we'll catch up next Sunday, you guys. All right. Thank you so much, Isadora Smith, and everyone. I appreciate you. Take care. And remember to love yourself. Okay. All right. And be patient with yourself. All right. Bye. Thanks. It's been an honor to read for you guys. Take care.